So my parents tried to set me up with a guy. He proposed to me in front of so many people, but I obviously said no since I had no idea it was going to happen. Now I'm being called an a-hole, but let's start at the beginning so I can walk you through this absolute roller coaster. I'm a 28-year-old female. I come from a very traditional Indian family. I left them when I came for the USA for university because I knew that if I accepted their help in paying for my fees, they would hold it against me later on. And I got a part-time job along with my financial aid I was receiving. I maintained low contact and did not visit them in person until I was 26, when they contacted me on my younger brother's passing university. For the last 2 years, I visit them 4 times, and each time they've been talking about marriage, although I stated very clearly I'm not interested. They brought up kids and how finding guys willing to marry older women was hard. I said no problem, I'm child-free, and that I don't need or want them to find a man for me. January this year, I went to visit them and they said that they had something, quote, special for me, and that I would absolutely love it. The day after I reached their home, they said they were throwing me a, quote, welcome home party. I thought they were trying to fix our relationship and I just let it be. They invited a lot of people, and it had obviously already been planned. An hour in, my parents introduced me to a man in his 30s, and his parents. So, next thing I know, this man goes down on one knee and whips out a freaking beautiful ring. I'm surprised and angry at my parents for still trying to control my life, and putting me in such situation. I said no, but then our parents began to push my buttons and I exploded. I called F, which was the man's name, his parents and my parents lowlives for trying to trick me and basically insulting their views, calling them misogynistic and disgusting. Told them to go F themselves, and I dipped out of there. I packed my bags and went to stay at a hotel until it was time for my flight. My mom cried and begged me to stay and said they already paid for half of their dowry and ring. I stopped responding to my parents' calls and text messages because, well, I was done with them. My cousin and some old friends have been telling me that I was being unfair by being so rude to F and his parents. Thing is, they were in on it. They expected me to say yes and sent me a lot of insults when I refused to reconsider. They were humiliated, and in their tiny group of small-minded people, my parents were being ostracized for raising a, quote, beep of a daughter. F and his parents were also humiliated because they were rejected by a beep. Am I the a-hole for being so rude? I feel like I should have handled the situation more delicately rather than blowing it all up on them. So I think there's a big difference in a surprise birthday party and a surprise wedding. Yeah, let's read a comment. They made quite an effort to spring it on you and corner you. They were disrespectful and not taking no for an answer, and they just kept harassing you, so they deserve to get blasted in public. Guys, let me know if you agree with that statement. I do think the family was completely out of line. Our next story we're going to look at involves a thief. OP's boyfriend steals $14,000 from her, and his family shocked and angered when he gets arrested. I'll just get straight to it. I'm a college student and this is my last semester until medical school. I've never been able to get a loan. I've worked 5.5 years to get this degree because I have to pay out of pocket, so it does take way longer. I've worked 2 times, sometimes 3 jobs at a time, and barely had a social life ever. For this upcoming semester, I reached my goal for tuition. So I quit one of my jobs so I could relax a bit. I was a server/bartender at 2 bars and an office job, so I always had cash hidden in my apartment in my closet, in a box, and before the semester starts, a week or two before I deposit it so I can pay my tuition. My boyfriend sometimes stays over while I'm there or when I'm not. Since I've been saving for this semester, he's the only one who's been over. I've never told him about the box, but he knows I have to pay for school. Well, yesterday night, I get home to put money in my box because I was going to deposit it today. And it's all gone. I freaked out, tore my apartment up, thinking I just put it somewhere else, knowing I didn't. I called my boyfriend like crazy, but no answer. I did not sleep last night. I was absolutely panicking. Then, this morning, he finally calls me back and I'm yelling at him, literally screaming about my money. He's acting all confused like I'm crazy. He comes over, I'm still pissed off. After a while, he finally admits he took it so he can borrow, and he'll pay me back. Where the heck is he gonna get 14 grand from in 2 weeks? I went into a rage, called the police, and reported a theft, because that's what he did. Well, it's been hours now. I guess he got his cell phone call because his family has been blowing my phone up, and his mother has said some really hurtful and racist things to me. They've been harassing me for the past 6 hours now. It's stressing me out even more, and I hate that I'm feeling bad for him. But he stole my money that I've been saving for months. His brother did call and he was respectful and said they'll help him pay it back, and I should have just gone to the police station with him and tell them I want to drop the charges, but I really don't believe him. I could do that and never get my money back still. I don't know what to do, and I hate that I'm contemplating doing this. I'm just really mad and have been crying all ducking day. Alright guys, Mr. Reddito here. So this story is seriously heating up. I hope you're enjoying all the content. Thank you so much for tuning in. Just know the best way to possibly support me takes 2 seconds. Please press that subscribe button right below this video. It helps me out immensely. Here's the update. Hi everyone. Sorry, I kept you all hanging for a while, but it's been a long and annoying process. I want to thank all of you so much for the advice. Someone suggested when I go to school, talk to my emergency dean, and I'm so grateful for you. With the police report, I was able to get my school to pay for my semester again. Thank you to that person for telling me. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I started a week late, but a week late's better than not going. Sadly, the harassment continued and escalated, and due to what almost happened and all the text and calls I was able to get, a temporary restraining order on his mom, which she quickly violated. Shake my head. After a few weeks, I was able to get a little bit over $8,000 back from my money, and his brother did pay the remaining back to me. Don't worry everyone, we did not meet, this was through a third party. Also, like most of you said, depending on the state, you can't just drop charges after the fact. So I couldn't do anything after the money was given back at this point. It's up to the court what happens. We haven't spoken, nor do I care to. I'm finally moving in a month, which is a huge stress relief because they don't know where I live anymore. A police report helps with a lot of things. I got to break my lease, thank goodness. Also, won't keep my money home anymore. That was stupid. Thankfully, since this is my last semester, I won't have to work my day job or bar jobs anymore, so no more money in my closet. I think that's all I'll have to update you on. Again, thank you so much for all your encouraging words and advice. It meant a lot and helped more than you could ever imagine. So there was a guessing game in the comment section below. They're trying to figure out what the boyfriend could have possibly spent $14,000 on. A lot of people are coming to the conclusion he probably has a gambling problem. Let's read the comment. Oh, he gambled it off. It's not drugs. Gambling addiction is insane. Yeah, I worked at a casino one night and a buddy came in. Won $10,000 on a slot in the first hour, but by 2 a.m. it was all gone. He was messed up. I was like, dude, that's $10,000. Walk away. Well, guys, I think that it might be a gambling issue, but let me know your thoughts down below. We're going to turn our attention to the final story of the video. Am I the a-hole for dropping the quote, "We're not having kids, now stop bringing it up" bomb to my mother-in-law? My husband and I do not want children. My mother-in-law is big into family in the traditional sense. She's been pushy with us about having kids since we got married. Literally, the week after we got engaged, she started asking. My husband has always changed the subject and has even told her that it's really none of her business. Every time we see her, she asked us. Everything we do is built around the idea of us having kids. 3 years into our marriage, my husband said, quote, "We might not even have kids," and mother-in-law would not hear it. At year 4, husband had a vasectomy and I had a tubule. So this weekend we were all at the home enjoying some barbecue and drinks, everything. When I get up to grab a beer, my mother-in-law asked me if maybe I should drink water instead. Because wink wink, nudge nudge, you never know. I was annoyed by this and said, actually there's no chance. Mother-in-law, all wide grin, said, "Oh, come on, it's time for you two to finally get serious. Put down the beers. Tell us, when can we finally expect you two to produce your family product?" I said, "We've been official for 5 years now, mother-in-law," and drank the beer. Husband laughed with me. Mother-in-law gets more annoyed and says, "Well, you won't be real husband and wife until you bless us with babies." Husband said, "Mom, enough." Mother-in-law pushed again. Husband repeated, "Mom, enough." After about 15 minutes of the usual comments, I finally snapped and said, "Mother-in-law, husband got snipped. I had my tubes tied. We're not having kids. You need to stop bringing it up." Well, I thought I started World War III. She started panic crying and stormed off. Family looked at us with disgust and stormed out to comfort her. We left. Party kind of ended. The social media bullcrap started shortly after. Vague posts, blinks about how motherhood is a woman's greatest calling, listicles about how unhappy childish women are. Some meme about how, quote, "I guess I wasn't good enough, mother, and won't be graduating to grandma." It's obnoxious to the point I just muted all them. My mother-in-law finally called me this morning and told me that she's willing to put all this behind us if husband and I can come over and listen to her reasons that we really need to have kids. I told her no, that we're tired of her pushing this on us, and then she said, quote, "Well then, I guess you two aren't prepared to be real husband and wife. It's like a refund for what we paid for the wedding." It wasn't even that much. It was like $400 for the rehearsal dinner. I hung up on her. When recounting this to my friends, a few of them said that I was the a-hole here for dropping it like that. But I don't think she was ever going to drop it if I did not finally make a serious, direct comment about it. So guys, what I'm asking is, am I the a-hole? I have to say not the a-hole because the mother-in-law has no right to decide for someone else if it's right for them to have babies. That's their decision. Let me know your thought on this, guys. Drop it down below. Thank you so much for tuning in. I cannot wait for tomorrow so I can read even more stories for you guys. Have a wonderful night and just know it's cool to be kind. The latest Mr. Reddito producer Christine Billings. Thank you so much for the support.